is set perhaps for a major makeover, and work on several new high-rise apartments has already started. But included in the Metropolitan Redevelopment Authority's draft master plan for the area are two new roads running through sand dunes to the north and south of Scarborough, and that has angered local resident and environmental groups. Robyn Murphy is from the Friends of Trigg Beach group and joins me now. Robyn, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Jan.
Robyn, for people who haven't seen this on the news broadcasts on television or in the papers, can you describe where these roads will go?
Yes, the plan that the MRA has put out for public consultation last year and now has a second draft plan shows the esplanade that runs in front of Observation City, for want of a better name for the hotel. Most people know it by that name. It will extend, it basically goes in front of that north and south, joining up with West Coast Highway. So it'll be a kind of a loop.
Sort of like Marine Parade coming off Curtin Avenue, sort of. Would it be, Robyn?
Yes. I think it's similar to that, although my knowledge of that area isn't as probably as good as it could be. But if you just imagine that you're driving down West Coast Highway and you're coming towards Scarborough Beach from Trigg, there would be a major intersection, a new major intersection on West Coast Highway. And then if you continue through the lights at Scarborough Beach Road, past Brighton Road, there will be another major intersection, a new major intersection, and both of those intersections go through the bushland, the natural coastal dunes that are in between West Coast Highway and the beach.
And is that your primary problem with it, Robyn?
Oh, absolutely, because both those areas, both north and south of Scarborough, are bush forever sites, which are regionally significant bushland, and in this case, they are dunal systems that are fairly unique, especially along the City of Stirling coastline, and they are made bush forever sites for a purpose and for a reason, and that's because they contain unique and important vegetation. They provide habitat for animals, birds, insects, reptiles, and they are also a snapshot of how our coastline used to look along the metropolitan area before there was so much development. And it's really quite special to have this area, particularly to the north of Scarborough, that's between two popular beaches, the Trigg Beach and Scarborough Beach, in its natural state. It's important environmentally, but it's also important for the amenity of the area. It is important for tourism because our tourists like to see natural areas when they come to Western Australia in particular. And it's just so important for the environment. Putting roads through these areas really is 20th century planning, and it's just not good enough for the MRA to be doing this without, it seems, a second thought.
Robyn, we must say we did invite the MRA, the Metropolitan Redevelopment Authority, to join us on the program this afternoon. A short time ago, a spokesperson said their CEO is busy. They'll be sending through a statement to us this afternoon. Now, when you say bush forever sites, is that Crown land?
Yes, for want of a better description, it is. It belongs to the state, or it belongs to the people as far as we're concerned, and it's currently managed by the City of Stirling. But it's recognised in the state planning policy, and this is it recognises regionally significant bushland, and its management as a primary purpose and a fundamental consideration in its own right as part of the area's essential environmental infrastructure, I quote.
Has the City of Stirling had anything to say, Robyn?
The City of Stirling actually set this area aside originally, and then it went through the state government, but it had been set aside as a dune, coastal dune conservation area. There are signs up accordingly, and the City of Stirling also had recognised this as regionally significant and had no intention of developing anything on it until the MRA came along with this bright idea. And the City of Stirling, unfortunately, seems to have fallen into lockstep. And I imagine that has something to do with dollars and cents, because it's really not. It doesn't make planning sense really to have two new intersections on Scarborough Beach Road. It's unnecessary. On West Coast Highway.
So the idea with the MRA, with the document, was that it reduce congestion on the highway. Do you think that's the case?
I can't see how it possibly could. I mean, every time you build a new road, you bring new cars, don't you? You make it easier for cars. And it goes against the MRA's own sustainability principles, which is to give primacy to public spaces and to reduce car use. It won't do anything to reduce congestion. It will introduce, in fact, quite a dangerous intersection, particularly to the north, on the crest of a hill. We're not road planners. We're not suggesting that we know the answer to congestion problems with traffic at Scarborough Beach, but we do know that to sacrifice these coastal dune reserves, and the road would go through the best vegetated and the most deeply dissected dunes, and the MRA is talking about retaining walls and also a sand ramp to support the road. There's a roundabout on this road as well.
What was that to support the road, Robyn?
A retaining wall.
Yes.
Or a sand ramp.
A sand rim?
Ramp, R-A-M-P.
Oh, ramp. What's a sand ramp?
Well, I'm assuming it means like a retaining sand wall to support the road, because the road is going through deep valleys. So it's going to be quite significant roadworks, and that will have a big impact. This area is subject to erosion. I don't know whether you know what winter's like at Scarborough Beach.
I do.
Yeah. Well,
I think most West Australians do. It completely changes, doesn't it, that part of the coast?
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
And I honestly think some of these planners only ever visit it in summer. And they don't. The winter storms cause huge erosion along the coast, which is why those artificial sand dunes were constructed along Scarborough Beach some years ago to try to prevent sand drift. Now they're talking about building a road. It's actually going to be quite close to the ocean too, when you look at it, because they've moved it further west from the original plan, I think, to take it away from the residents. But the residents are irate.
So, Robyn, when you say the residents are irate, and you're a part of the Friends of Trigg Beach, are there any people? I'll be interested to know this afternoon if you live in Scarborough. Are there any people who think, no, this is a good idea? This development needs the extra access. There's congestion on the highway. Are there any people who've said to you, "I disagree with you"?
Well, no, actually. Maybe I'm the last person they would say it to. I don't know. But certainly we have a lot of support from residents, both on the east side of West Coast Highway and also in the units that will be very badly impacted by at the moment. I mean, really, at the moment, they look over a beautiful reserve, and I don't know any of them, none that we've spoken to, who want to look over a dual road with a roundabout. And the noise, you only have to remember what Scarborough was like some years ago when hooning was the fashion along there. And they blocked off the Esplanade. The Esplanade is actually like a roundabout itself, a dead end at the end of it in the north, and you can turn around and go back and come out onto West Coast Highway at either Reserve Street or Manning Street or Scarborough Beach Road or Brighton Road. I've just named 4 ways of exiting that area, and it's not a huge area. And this would be number 5 and number 6 way of exiting that area. But nobody wants to see this road come in, which will enable people to drive from. I mean, we can see it becoming a rat run, to avoid the lights. People will just come on at one end and come out at the other, whether they're going to the beach or not. It's not a good idea.
Thank you for your time this afternoon, Robyn.
Oh, thank you.
That's Robyn Murphy. She is the Friends of Trigg Beach. We'd like to hear your thoughts on this proposed road. You can call through this afternoon on 1300 222 720. And as I said, we did ask the Metropolitan Redevelopment Authority to come join us on the program a short time ago. A spokesperson said their CEO is busy. They'll be sending through a statement. Local